Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to Tuesday, July 20th. Man, was yesterday a day. Biggest drops we've seen in, I think, since October of last year. We'll talk about that and more when Dave joins us here in just a minute. But before we do, I got to tell you, with all the volatility that we're seeing out there, now more than ever, it is important to understand and know how much risk you have in your current portfolio, and it can be devastating if you don't know and your portfolio doesn't really line up with your risk. Give us a call and let's walk through our financial x-ray. 863-382-0037. And with that, we've got Dave coming up next.
Time to check and see whether or not bloodletting on Wall Street from yesterday is going to continue today. Because, boy, a whole lot of us took a bath yesterday. Let's go downtown to the offices of Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler's standing by. You feel any cleaner this morning, Phillip?
Oh, man, was it a bath? And we managed to climb out just a little bit before closing. So the closing not as bad as the whole day looked.
Yeah, really, it was one of those days in which, oh my Lord, I mean, the Dow was down 726 points yesterday, but at one point it was down over 900 points on the swing during the day. I mean, I don't care how starry-eyed you are, you got to say that was a really, really crappy day, wasn't it?
Yeah, down over 2%. That was quite the drop. And then next in line, the S&P 500, I mean, it was down almost 1.6% yesterday.
Yep, and NASDAQ wasn't a whole lot better. It was actually the winner of the three. It was down a full percent, down 152. And most of it is still being racked up to the concerns over the Delta variation of the coronavirus. And there's survey out basically what conditions would you have for the virus-reluctant people out there? What conditions would have to exist for you to be willing to take the virus? And basically, a working majority of them said no way in heck to virtually any change in conditions. So this looks like it might be a storm we're going to have to weather for a while, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I mean, the Delta variant seems to be the issue right now. I mean, I think I saw a little blurb somewhere that there was like 70 something folks involved in the Olympics that have come down with COVID over there. So, we're not going to be done with this for a long, long time. It's just going to learn to live with it and be, just raise your cautious level up a little bit.
And it's going to be it. And I hate to say it, but it might be. We're going to get back to the point where even in states that resisted any mask mandates or anything for the entire run of the pandemic, we're going to start getting advisories suggesting masks again, and none of that stuff is pleasant for anybody. And getting back to what we're supposed to be talking about today, the financial markets, all of those things are upsetting us all get out to virtually any size company, because it's not good for anybody when the threat of us having to restrict our movements happens.
No, it really isn't. And let's just, remember one thing for sure is it's still a free country. And so, we have to work within those parameters. We can't stifle people's freedom. But so we have to learn that, hey, people are going to do what people are going to do. And those that are vaccinated, God bless them. And their beliefs are one way, and those that aren't vaccinated, their beliefs are a different way. And hey, we've got to learn to survive together.
Absolutely. That was kind of the, hey, give peace a chance attitude that was throwing through the pandemic while folks were getting into dang near fist fights over it. Just doggone it all, let's just respect each other. And I think all of us can probably agree. Let's give a couple of extra feet worth of distance in order to at least provide a little bit of protection, because even those of us that are vaccinated, I learned the hard way after I got, quote unquote, fully vaccinated, I'm still capable of carrying the bug. I saw the temperature go up and then go down again as the vaccine took its effect. So, yeah, I was fine, but that indicates I had a snoot full of the stuff for a little while. So just being careful for the moment is really the best advice any of us can give.
Absolutely. And so, hey, so yesterday was obviously part of the deal, right? We continue to see those things weighing in on the markets. Friday was a bad day. Monday was a worse day. Dave, those were the 2 days you were back, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to take the hit for that, but I'm starting to feel a little snake bit. Well, let's start the morning out with the stuff that might affect us today to the positive or negative side. We got some government data dump numbers. One was a surprise to the positive, one to the negative. Housing starts rose 6% last month, beat the expectation by a couple of 100,000. 1.64 million new housing starts in the nation. That's good news from last month. But then we start looking to the future, and the number of building permits underperformed by about the same amount, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. We saw housing starts barely 1.6, or actually just a tad under 1.6 million. And so that was definitely a miss. And you're right, building permits, which is looking kind of ahead. They were, I'm sorry, housing starts were ahead, permits were down. So that really means that looking ahead, there's not as much stuff coming out of the ground, and that could be a slight indication. I mean, obviously that's just one data point you and I talk about, but it is a predictive data point that says, hey, there's not as many people getting ready to start construction.
And I kind of wonder with the building permits. This is the number from last month, and the one thing you and I were talking about, doggone, all month long during the month of June was, oh my gosh, the price of lumber, oh my God, the price of housing, and oh my gosh, the slight uptick in interest rates. All of this, putting it together, we kind of expected a little bit of a pall on the market as far as future plans are concerned. Might have paid that price in the building permit number from June.
It could have, and then maybe it'll pick back up in July, because I know that I saw and read an article that lumber prices actually for the month of June were down 40%. So that was some good news to the construction industry.
Yeah, I was going to say, a couple of my friends in construction told me that things suddenly started getting a little bit more affordable toward the end of June. So kind of leading into that as being an indicator that maybe, just maybe, we can take the building permit disappointment this month as being just a data point and nothing more, and see our optimism out of the housing starts.
That would be good, and we'll have to take a look at that next month.
Yeah, wouldn't mind the least. Other things just in the world of finances. Jeff Bezos goes to space today, and 186,000 people on Twitter said, leave him there. Amazon is a company we got a love-hate relationship with this country. Everybody seems to use it, but nobody admits they like it. The other thing that I found kind of interesting, one of the columnists, and this might actually impact something, if you talk about two rich billionaires with big egos, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk probably are the poster children for it. One of my columnists said, watch Elon Musk today because he can't stand to be out of the limelight that long. He'll announce something or do something in order to grab some headlines from Bezos while he's in space.
and Bezos, he won't be able to say anything, will he?
Yeah. At least he can't cuss on the interstellar radio. But I just found those two little sidebars interesting. Couple of companies reporting that we might have heard of this morning, I gather.
We do. We've got, actually, I'd say a handful this morning. Let's start out with Travelers. Travelers, the insurance company, had a really good quarter. They beat by over $1 a share. Came in at like $3.45 compared to $2.39 expected. Revenue top forecast as well. They're benefiting from higher premiums, improved investment returns. Obviously, insurance companies have investments. They appreciate this too. And then lower catastrophic losses. So that was, they kind of won on all three fronts today. Now, they're not getting a big help today, but they're up about 0.2% this morning before we get going. The next one we have deals with the oil services industry, and that's Halliburton. Yeah, they didn't beat by much. They beat by 3 cents a share, came in at 26 cents. That's the second straight quarter of profits for Halliburton. So that's good for them. They're seeing a rebound in oil prices, which means folks are out there trying to get it. And that's what Halliburton does, helps oil industry get the oil out of the ground. They're up 3.3% this morning.
Well, that's okay. I kind of expected a bigger beat from Halliburton, given the way the oil prices went up over the last quarter. I figured that meant a lot more business for them. I mean, a beat's a beat, but I expected something bigger out of them.
Hey, they like the beat. It's hey, 3 cents is 3 cents, and the stock price is liking it. So you can't complain about the stock increase. The next one I have is IBM. good old blue. They beat by 4 cents a share, came in like $2.33. The revenue beat as well. They're getting help from their cloud and computing and software business. Their shares jumped earlier this morning about 3.5%. Let's see where they are now. It's gone down just a little bit. They're up about 2.9% right now before we get started.
Someday we may be hearing about a book about the turnaround of IBM.
Yeah, really. I mean, because they've done a good job, really, from being the old, smokestack type technology company to kind of reinventing themselves and done a pretty good job at it.
Exactly.
I've got PPG Industry, which is the paint company. They're the ones that do a lot of the automotive painting type stuff. They had a little bit of a miss. They fell short. They came in at $1.94 compared to the $2.19 that was expected. Revenue was slightly above Wall Street forecast. And then kind of the other whammy for them is they warned that their supply chain costs are going up. Their input costs are going up. So that's not good news for them. They're trading down about 6.5% this morning. That's over $10 a share right now down.
I was going to say they're a pretty high-priced stock, so when you start getting 5-6%, that's a lot of dollars lost.
Yeah, it really is. It's and then we'll close out the day with J.B. Hunt Transportation, the trucking company. They call themselves a logistic company now. They beat by 4 cents a share, came in at $1.61. Revenue also came in ahead of expectations. They saw strong freight demand, which you and I would agree is probably going to continue for some time now as we try to get things back in stores. And so they had done well. They actually haven't had a trade yet today, and they closed down yesterday by 3.2%. You kind of expect it down yesterday, but there's no trade yet today, so we don't know what they'll open up at.
All righty. Yeah, transportation, just given the number of semi-trucks I saw on the road on the drive north over the last 3 weeks. I mean, I've been driving for 50 years. I have never seen this many trucks on the road at the same time in my life, so I figure a trucking company probably has to be doing relatively well. Looking at the setting the table again this morning. Yesterday, as we said, bloodbath. The Dow was down by over 2%. The winner of the three, only down 1%, was NASDAQ, which gives you an idea of just how bad it was. We are recovering a little this morning anyway. Phillip, 45 minutes early. How are we doing?
Well, it is heading up. It is green from the close. However, I will just say this, that the indexes have slid from the highs that I saw earlier this morning. The Dow right now is up a little over 0.4%. That's $144. And just to kind of give you an indication, when I first started following it this morning, it was up like $208. So it is falling a little bit. The S&P 500, same thing. It's up 0.4%, but still off from its high earlier this morning. NASDAQ's up about 0.4 also. So not huge increases, but at least it will be green at the open, at least the way it looks right now. The commodities front, silver up minimally, up a little over 0.1%. Gold's up a little over 0.8%. Crude oil, man, I got to tell you, Dave, we have seen a major slide in oil prices over the last 2 days. We still have crude oil heading down this morning by about 0.2% at $66.22 a barrel right now. What do you think about 65?
I wouldn't complain. Take that any day of the week. Overseas markets kind of responded to us on the Asian rim. They were all off this morning at the close. Europe is kind of looking at our futures and saying, well, maybe they got their act together. They're all trading upward fractionally, but at least upward, about the same kind of percentages we're at. Phillip, money has no conscience, and it also has absolutely nothing to do some days with what's actually happening economically. That makes it really weird as you get close to retirement. It takes this extra pair of eyes to make sure my retirement works. How do I find you to make that happen?
That's right. You got to be paying attention to geopolitical environment. You got to be paying attention to different black swans that could come up. There's a lot of things out there, and we're seeing a lot more volatility as those markets are coming off of their all-time highs. And that's why it's so important for folks to know how much risk they have in their current portfolio. Call us and let's schedule your financial x-ray, 863-382-0037, to determine how much risk is sitting there. Check out our website at statlerfinancial.com, and then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730.
And back here again tomorrow morning about the same time on Light FM. Phillip, thank you so much. We'll see you then, all right?
All right, man. You have a great day.
Appreciate you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler from the pitch.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I hope that your week is off to a great start. Join us again tomorrow morning. If not, pull us up, listen to us on the Facebook, give us a call, 863-382-0037. Have a great day. Hey, I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow. Bye now.